All right, folks, how you doing? Welcome back to the Mars Mystery. Disclaimer, as always, under Section 107 of the Copyright Act 1976, allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, scholarship, and research. So this is Hidden Things, the Feathered Serpent, the Firebird, and the Stone, Part 2, Flight of the Phoenix. So Hancock writes, intimately linked to the Benben in religious significance was the Bennu bird, the ancient Egyptian phoenix, the cult of which was also centered at Heliopolis. At cyclic intervals, this creature fashioned a nest of aromatic boughs, set it on fire, and was consumed. From the pyre miraculously sprang a new phoenix. For the Egyptians, the phoenix represented immortality. Hancock equates the phoenix with Quetzalcoatl, the fiery-winged serpent. He writes, quote, "The defining qualities of the Bennu phoenix are, it is a thing that flies, a thing that returns after long intervals, it is a thing that is consumed in flames, it is in some way reborn, it is closely associated with the Benben meteorite, an iron egg fallen from heaven." Quote, for a comet, Hancock states, quote, "We accept that the Bennu and the Benben must be ranked among the most complex symbols in the ancient world. The phoenix and the stone can be employed at many different levels of meaning. If we start looking around for something that flies, which returns at cyclical intervals, quote, consumed in flames, mysteriously renewed, associated with meteorites, these objects are comets." Hancock suggests that comets can be associated with meteorites, quote, "in much the same relationship as the parent Bennu phoenix to the offspring Benben stone that falls to Earth. Comets orbit the solar system in a wide variety of cycles, ranging from 3.3 years in the case of Encke's comet to tens of thousands of years in the case of Hale-Bopp. Quote, comets do literally undergo a process of renewal on each appearance in our skies." Clues in the starry landscape. So Hancock states, quote, "The religion of the Phoenix and the Benben practiced at Heliopolis, and for which the pyramids and the Great Sphinx of Giza were undoubtedly spiritual monuments, conveyed a distinctive system of teachings. The afterlife journey of the soul is undertaken in a region known as the Duat, demarcated on one side by the constellation Leo, and on the other by the constellations Orion and Taurus. Through the middle of this skyscape flows the celestial counterpart of the sacred river Nile, what we now call the Milky Way. The ancient Egyptians knew it as the Winding Waterway," writes Hancock. "The constellation Orion, represented by its three belt stars, is mirrored by the three pyramids of Giza. The pattern of stars that is duplicated on the ground at Giza in the form of the three pyramids, and the Sphinx represents the disposition of the constellations Orion and Leo as they looked at the moment of sunrise on the spring equinox during the age of Leo. Computer simulations of the effects of precession show that the three stars of Orion's belt would have stood due south at the meridian in the pattern of the three pyramids, and the sun rose in line with the gaze of the Sphinx with the constellation of Leo, the Sphinx's celestial counterpart, above it. The ground plan of the Gizan Acropolis was conceived in the age of Leo. These connections are the carefully angled shafts that emanate from the King's Chamber and Queen's Chamber in the epoch of 2500 BC, and only in that epoch. Processional calculations show that all four of the shafts would have lined up like gun sights on the meridian transits of four stars of great significance." Hancock continues, quote, "From the Queen's Chamber, the northern shaft is aimed at the star Kochab, or Beta Ursa Minor, in the constellation of the Little Bear, a star associated with, quote, cosmic regeneration and the immortality of the soul. The southern shaft was aimed at Sirius, Alpha Canis Major, in the constellation of the Great Dog. This star the ancients associated with Isis, cosmic mother of the kings of Egypt." Quote, "From the King's Chamber, the northern shaft was aimed at the ancient pole star Thuban, or Alpha Draconis, associated by the pharaohs with, quote, cosmic pregnancy and gestation. The southern shaft was aimed at Al-Natak, or Zeta Anonis, the brightest of the three stars of Orion's belt, identified with Osiris, and the legendary bringer of civilization to the Nile Valley in Zeb Tepi the first time. A vast and extraordinary statement. So Hancock points out that we can reconstruct the ancient skies over Giza and demonstrate, using modern technology, the alignments of the four shafts to the four stars around 2500 BC. Quote, what the same computers also show us is that these alignments were rare, only valid for a century or so. After that, gradual change affected by the passage of time altered the positions at which the stars transited the meridian. Quote, it therefore seems inescapable that the pyramids are signaling an extremely close connection to the date 2500 BC. It is our hypothesis that one of the functions of the Giza necropolis may have been to make some sort of statement about two astrological ages, the age of Leo and the age of Taurus. Only a statement of extraordinary significance could have justified such a vast and extraordinary undertaking. The pyramids must have been built with enormous resources and the focused attention of the very best minds of the age over a sustained period of time. Their standards of precision are so high, and coupled with the use of such gigantic megaliths, what were the ancients trying to say that they felt was worth such a superhuman effort? Now, when he says here, what was it? It is our hypothesis. He's talking about him and Robert Bauval. And I saw a really good video yesterday, which I'll link in the description, of Hancock and Bauval in Egypt, right there, like going up into the pyramid, located right at the Giza necropolis. Really good video. well worth checking out. So, once you've gone through the presentation, watch the video. Really, really good video. I didn't know we even had that video of Hancock and Bauval right there in Egypt, going through all of this. And it's a brilliant video. One of the best Hancock videos I've ever seen. So check it out. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you the next time.